All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 173. I am Kevin Harris.
I'm Jared Seymour, and
And
we're down some people tonight.
they are out. They may join us in the chat, but they are out partying right now with Shaman's Harvest and Blacktop Mojo. So
Yeah, yeah. Matt's been sending us photos. They're over there in the UK, hanging out, having a good time. I think he said, "What, Kevin? They had a great show." And I guess
yep.
now they're, like you said, they're actually at the bar hanging out after the fact, huh?
Yeah, that's hey, have fun, enjoy.
We're not
Uh,
jealous. You're jealous.
Yeah, not at all. But I'll tell you what, we do have a great show tonight. We've got the band 12 Stones. Paul McCoy is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about the history of 12 Stones and then kind of the resurgence that's happening right now with 12 Stones as they're out touring, doing shows. And so we'll talk about all their shows and their upcoming shows, and of course the show they've got coming up with us in July.
Yeah,
We've got Raven's Banquet is going to be joining us after 12 Stones. And then before that, of course, we've got the grudge match with our champion Etched in Embers with their song Gemini. And they'll be taking on Left on Red with their song Gaslight. But I guess it's just the two of us. So what have you been listening to?
Oh shit, I get put on the spot first. I've been deep into the podcast again, but music wise, the Gemini Etched in Embers.
Okay.
Been tech digging on that pretty good. And what else, man? I'm trying to think. I've been all over the place with stuff. I always go back to the post profit stuff and just let theirs play through. Trying to think of anything new. No, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I made this whole divorced dad rock playlist and just been jamming it for a few days. So
Yeah, what's on it?
Uh, well, 12 Stones and
Okay.
Hinder and Buck Cherry and Three Doors and Creed and Nickelback and Theory of a Dead Man and Stained and Crossfade. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But yeah, that's
I
you get the gist of it.
yeah, I did hear a another Alien Ant Farm song popped into my one of the old ones too, popped into my algorithm somehow, and I was like, damn, it's awesome. And that new record they put out is killer. So
Yep.
I want to catch them. If I remember correctly, I think they're going to be at Sonic Temple this year. So I think I might get to see them there if I'm not
They're
mistaken.
doing quite a few. I know they're doing the I just happened to look at it earlier when I was talking with Brandy, but they're doing the Summer of '99 cruise this year. With
Okay,
Creed,
damn,
with
that'd be
Creed and
good.
Seven Dust and Alien Ant Farm and Hoobastank, Hinder, the Verve Pipe, Buck Cherry, Tantric. I mean, it's just
Wow.
my playlist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Be on a
yeah.
cruise. So
What's y'all drop in the comments what you've been listening to? Maybe something we haven't heard, or maybe something throwback. Divorced dad rock, like Kevin said. Let us know. Let us know what you've been listening to.
but before we get going, is as always, we're 2 weeks out. And I really want to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Fire it off.
Dirty 30 Fest returns to the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, March 15th. Dirty 30 Fest is back with the return of Shallow Side. Shallow Side at Dirty 30 Fest. With special guest Outlier. Enemy. Dirty 30 Fest with Gears. The Almas and Mississippi's own Storage 24. Tickets on sale now, $25 in advance, $30 day of show. Dirty 30 Fest with Shallow Side, Outlier, Enemy, Gears, The Almas, Storage 24, and the after party inside the Juke Joint Crashing Wayward. Being brought to you by the Juke Joint, 228 Entertainment, Wake Up Music, Spade Images, and J Eagle Audio. Get your tickets now. So there's been one small change to that event. Gears is going to be unable to make it.
So where we normally were putting Crashing Wayward into the after party afterwards inside the juke joint, they will now move outside and they will kick off the show. So it will be Crashing Wayward followed by Storage 24, the Almas, Enemy, Outlier, and then Shallow Side at Dirty 30 Fest. And those tickets are available at thesound228.com. They're only $25. They are $35 the day of the show. So if you want to save yourself $10, get on out there and get those tickets now for $25.
That's right. So, that's right.
And
it's going to be a good show.
Yes. And if you didn't see it yesterday, the Facebook is doing something to us. So a lot of us are posting stuff from our personal pages on some stuff and sharing it out. But there is a St. Patrick's shirt for the sound, and I forgot to put the picture on here, but the St. Patrick's shirt is out. If you order it, you should be able to get it for Dirty 30 Fest if you order it by Friday. So
cool.
And yeah, so that's going. But I think we're ready for the crutch match.
That's what the people want to see. Let's play.
So here's what we're doing. So we're not doing the poll anymore because people can't see the poll. But you can vote in the comments. You vote video number 1 or video number 2. We tabulate the polls. I can mark each comment, and then I can go back and count them all up, and we'll find out who our winner is. But it is the returning champion, Etched in Embers, with Gemini, and they are going to be taking on the challenger, Left on Red, and Gaslight is the name of that video. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. I think Jared's ready.
I'm ready. Let them smash that share button.
All right, here we go.
Spread the word.
You make me think that I'm the problem. Yes, in your head, just stop and think. I'm not that person. Lie after lie until I break. Come to as a gaslight. I wasn't raised to hold my tongue. Just say I don't know like that say I came to me. I drove a line and being disrespected. You're out of time. Apology rejected. There's no reason to use it. Everything that you say is just a lie repeated over time. I won't keep living with your hands around my neck. Don't tell me it's alright, stop at the gaslight. You should take a bow. Quit our performance. I lost it when you started crying. Yes, I read the message. So real I am isolated. Another lie is only coming from a mile away. Your insincerity is showing through the words you say. Your breath is lost on me. I draw the line and being disrespected. You're out of time. Apology rejected. There's no reason to use it. Everything that you say is just a lie repeated over time. I won't keep living with your hands around my neck. Don't tell me it's alright, stop at the gaslight. Everything that you say is just a lie repeated. Don't tell me it's alright, stop at the gaslight. This isn't fun. I'm not your toy. You had your day. You took my joy. I'm not your passion. So stop your pride. Now hear my words. Cause nothing now. I flip the script and watch you struggle to figure out what's really what you should believe. You're more you. How's it feel to never know if it's our fault? It's always your fault. Waste your time. There's no reason to use it. Everything that you say is just a lie repeated.
All right. There you have
Yeah.
it. That is Left on Red. The song is called Gaslight. And the throwing the stuff SpongeBob in there just, I mean, if you can pull it off, that's fucking badass.
I thought it was freaking awesome, man. I loved all the like neon LEDs in the video, kind of contrasting against the heaviness of the video, you
Right.
know. And then when he hit
Yeah.
I think you still had the mic not muted. I didn't know, so I don't know if everybody heard me singing along with it. But hey, I was feeling it. You know what I mean?
Now that he said, later on when you rewatch it, listen for Jared.
Yeah. See if you can hear me. It's a little delayed after he did. I was like, ooh, hell yeah.
Nice. And they are going up against video number 2, which is Etched in Embers. It is Gemini. It is your returning champion on the grudge match. Here you go. Put it in the comments. Video number 1 or video number 2.
Do it.
The battle's begun. Opposing forces are towing the line. Save me! This constant rerun, the back and forth that plays out in my mind. No one can see inside. Please save me from myself. Just want to run away and hide. I need some help. Holding on to my dignity. Can't control this part of me. No one can see inside the mind of a Gemini. Mind of a Gemini. Take me from this moment. Help me run from the shame that I hide. Set free. All this torment raging inside my mind out of sight. No one can see inside. Please save me from myself. Just want to run away and hide. I need some help. Holding on to my dignity. Can't control this part of me. No one can see inside the mind of a Gemini. Nothing's fine. Out of time. Crossing the line and I can't hold on. I've lost my No one can see inside. Please save me from myself. Just want to run away and hide. I need some help. Holding on to my dignity. Can't control this part of me. No one can see inside the mind of a Gemini. Mind of a Gemini. Run as fast as you fucking can. There's no control. I don't know who I am.
That'll get you, man.
It's too,
And before we got a chance to talk about it, Ann's already up in the comments about it. So tonight they drop a video of all the playthroughs on it. So make sure you check it, as the Beastie Boys would say. Check it out.
to check it out. Yeah, it's I think Matt told us it's on their YouTube page. So Ashton Ember's YouTube page, it just dropped tonight. I'm assuming, Kevin, it's all of them doing their own instrumental run through of the song.
Guitar, bass, and drum playthroughs. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, cool.
So-
Yeah, and I flashed one of the comments during the video there. It said 2 great videos by 2 killer bands or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's how we feel about it every night. You know, that's why we pick these bands. That's why we put them up there. It's a chance to highlight them outside of everything else that we do with the station and the live events and everything, right, Kevin? We want to pick 2 bands that we're digging and put them head to head and see what y'all think.
And I see a lot of the voting going on, and I did get a kick out of one of them saying, "Can you put the poll back up so I can lie to the other band?" So
oh, now everybody's got to be transparent.
I get it. And stick around to the end to find out who the winner tonight goes up against next week.
Oh, yeah, and Kevin also likes to ruin friendships and and street teams. So there's that as well.
Yeah,
but
it'd be quite the fun one.
we got a killer interview coming up. For people that don't know, Kevin mentioned at the intro, we're going to talk with Paul from 12 Stones, who 12 Stones is a band that's from the Gulf Coast region. I guess Mississippi, they played a lot over here, but I know they got ties to Slidell area, right, Kevin?
Well, they originally were formed and based out of Mandeville, Louisiana. Now they're a little bit all over the place with the current members, but Paul is still, I believe, in New Orleans. Paul is in New Orleans, I believe. He was in Biloxi on damn Friday night, though, for our Saturday night for the parade.
Yeah. So, let's get him in here and let's do the deep dive, man. I'm kind of interested to hear this.
Okay, I'm bringing him in. There he is.
Bring him in, baby.
What is up, Paul?
What's up, my friends? How we doing?
All right, we're having a little trouble hearing you. Let me see.
Yeah, bring him.
How about now?
A little more. There we go.
A little better.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. So, Paul, how's everything been going lately? Well, I mean, we see how everything's been going for you lately, but how's everything been going?
Man, everything's been wild. It's been a crazy little ride here lately. But
now come down
all
a
good
bit.
things.
Now come down just a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll get you
just a little
How about
hot.
there? How about
there? We'll call that a happy medium. There you go.
Perfect. No, everything's been going great, man. It's been crazy busy. Being an independent artist these days is pretty wild, but yeah, man, I'm taking it all in stride and looking forward to what the next few years brings for this project.
Sweet. Well, I know Jared and I talked earlier today on how we wanted, and we'd never give our guests kind of an insight of where we're going with the interview or anything like that. But Jared and I talked, and we kind of want to do the life of 12 Stones from beginning to where you're at now. Because I will say that we do have the new issue of the Sound magazine coming out this Friday, and on the cover is 12 Stones.
Hey, look at them handsome gentlemen.
Anne Marie did a deep dive with you on the history of the band as well. So it's going to be one of the longest articles we've ever had in our magazine, and she absolutely loved writing it based off of everything you gave her. She learned so much for a band she didn't know a lot about, and she learned so much from you guys and from how you answered questions and going into the history of the band. So we want to kind of do similar to that tonight. So I'll let Jared lead off and let's go.
Yeah, no, like Kevin, that was a great intro. Paul, we had the pleasure of living right next to, like we were saying, Mandeville is home for you, but I always thought of y'all as a Mississippi Gulf Coast band because of the amount of shows y'all played over here and all the connections that y'all have to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We got to watch you from opener all the way to the peak of where 12 Stones went. But a lot of our audience, or younger audiences, people from all over the U.S. maybe didn't hear the story from the beginning. So could you walk us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely have the Gulf Coast and the Biloxi Gulfport area to thank a lot. Thanks to Kenny Vest and 97.9 CPR. Obviously, we kind of took our demo, which we recorded only after a few months of being together. None of us were friends prior to being in the band. We all met at a music store one day. Two of the guys worked there. I was a broke kid that always wanted to go and play the things I couldn't afford. So there was a couple times where I would go in the music store and I would be playing something on the guitar, and Eric would come over and be like, what is that? You know? And I'd be, oh, you know, it's just something I don't know. I'm just messing with it. And then our original drummer, Pat Quave, was working there at the time. So he would get on one of the kits that was set up and lightly tap around. I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. And then one day, this young kid came in asking if they sold bass strings. And we're like, you play bass? Check this out. And now we're kind of seeing it form. And that was Kevin Darr. And so that's really where 12 Stones came from. It came from a couple of guys working at a music store, and then a couple of broke kids always hanging out at that music store, and kind of ideas began to circulate that way. So we got very fortunate, and we took our demo to the station at 97.9 to get on one of the CPR Fest homegrown stage. We tried to just submit our demo, and the DJ that was working that night was a guy by the name of Puddin'. And he was bored and wanted to mess with us a little. So he let us in the station that night instead of just taking our demo. He invited us into the station, did an impromptu interview. And in between the commercials, he played the demo so that he could listen to it. And he was like, I don't know how to say this, but this is actually good. I was like, what did you? Well, okay. I was kind of picking up that he was, you know, kind of messing with us a little bit. But then he messaged Kenny and was like, can I play this? And so we got to hear ourselves on 97.9 that very first night. And man, I haven't lost the buzz from that yet. I'm still chasing that almost 25 years later. So,
Dude, that's crazy. Where did you record that demo? Do you remember?
we did. We recorded it here in Mandeville at Balance Studios, owned by Dave Fortman and Gene Jonan. Dave produced the record or the demo. And then he did such a good job with that we convinced the label to let him co-produce our first album with Jay Baumgartner. And then that relationship opened the door for Dave to do Evanescence, Mudvayne, Godsmack, all the big bands he did after us. So, you know, we like to steal a little credit from Dave every once in a while and be like, yeah, you remember, if it wasn't for our demo, man, you know. So,
You know,
but no,
I
he
didn't
did
know
great.
that part of the story. I did not know that. I didn't know that he cut the demo. I knew all the latter part of that story, but I didn't know he cut y'all's demo.
Yeah,
How
he
did
was the
y'all
very
get
first
hooked up
one.
with him? Just local to the area at the time? You know, he had the studio. That's just where that was the place to go.
That was the spot. And, you know, until it closed down, that was still the spot. I mean, they had so many talented guys go through there. Our current bass player, David Troya, him and I go way back. Him and I's first band ever was called Soulfire, which eventually became a 12 Stone song. But he was a guitar player and I was a singer for this small little band in the area. And he went the recording route. I went the performance route. So Troya got his start in there, and now he's an audio mastermind. That guy is awesome. So another great person to have on the team.
Yeah, I still follow him on Facebook. I've seen, you know, some of the stuff he did. If I remember right, he did Pandemic's record. If way back in the day,
Yeah,
he was a part of it.
Which a great record, man. That band is still, you know, hands down one of the best local bands to come out of the area.
Where I was at the other night, but somebody said, "Do you remember the band Pandemic?" And I forgot where we were at, but I was like, "Not only do I remember it, but don't bring it up to Jared because Jared won't shut up."
Dude,
yeah, that's
if
great.
you get, like, people watching right now, you can find him on Spotify. Just type it in Pandemic, and you'll listen to that record and be like, "How the hell have I never heard of these guys?" But yeah, there's a lot of talent that came out of that area, and it's just killer to hear that part of the story. Do you remember the songs that were on the demo that y'all got to play that night?
Yeah.
Any of them?
The first ones that were on that record ended up being a lot of B-sides. We did have The Way I Feel. I do believe we had Broken on that, the demo version anyway. Then we had some like B-side songs like Little Eyes, Unsaid, songs that have never made a record, but if you do enough digging, you can find them out there. And I think even one song called Drowning in Me, which is about I guess my psychic abilities to realize I was going to turn into a raging alcoholic one day. But I wrote a song called Drowning in Me, and it was the cool song for us at the time, being young kids, where Eric would play bass, Kevin would go and play guitar, and it would just be this like everybody switched instruments and we played this one song. So I believe that was on that first demo as well.
Sweet. Yeah, I think they call that foreshadowing, Paul. What you did.
Yeah, if I only would have known what to tell younger me, but
right.
you know.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Yeah, we all could have felt that way to varying degrees for sure.
For real.
But so I know y'all played the homegrown stage at CPR Fest. We can definitely caught y'all there many times. But then after that, how did y'all bust onto the national scene?
Man, it goes back to Kenny Vest again. I mean, the guy was a savior for us. We were young kids, and we would have followed anybody anywhere. We didn't know anything about anything. We were just happy to be doing anything, and Kenny really gave us the platform to do a lot of things. Because by going into the station that night and having them play our song, we not only got to play the festival, but we got to open the main stage that year. And we went on right before Kitty, and it was like COC was there. It was a wild one, and so we didn't even get the homegrown stage. We went straight to the main stage, and man, I've been chasing that feeling ever since. So with Kenny, he had a great relationship with the guys in Three Doors. He had built quite a good relationship with a lot of the radio reps for record labels, one of which being Wind Up Records. And so Kenny made some phone calls on our behalf and put us in position to do our jobs and to really try to drive home. And we ended up showcasing for 6 different record labels in 2000, late 2000, early 2001. And once we met Diana Meltzer from Wind Up Records, it was all over. We knew where home was. She's been like a second mom to all of us since 2000, 2001. So, for us, we know it wasn't a talent thing that propelled us ahead of anyone else. It was right place, right time, and having the right people around us, and the people that saw past our own shortcomings and helped us believe in ourselves. People like Kenny, people like Diana that wouldn't take no for an answer on our behalf. A lot of record labels, I remember Warner Brothers wanted to offer us a developmental deal. They had just done that a few years prior with a little small band called Linkin Park, and it did pretty well for that band. So, but we were still so young. We were like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to be developed. I want to just go out, and I like still the way I am today. I want to run 100 miles an hour into the wall, and then when I go too far, I'll know. The headache will remind me. So we turned down a couple deals, and we were turned down by several labels, and it was a weird place to be. We got to showcase, and for anybody in a band that's not showcase, back in the day, this was the popular way to do it, but a showcase is where you would go in, and normal live shows, you got a crowd, and now these days the crowd knows your music, or at least they're there for the music. If you're doing a showcase, there's like 6 guys in suits in the room in the back, and you're like, let me hear you. All right. And you're trying to, and one of those guys happened to be Matt Pinfield. He was working for Columbia Records at the time, and he walked in, and I was like, what is he doing here, man?
Yeah.
Like, we're not ready for this. And he was great. He treated us great. And but after we met Diana, she just sealed the deal. It didn't matter what anybody else said. We had made our mind up that we wanted to be with her at Wind Up, and luckily, she believed in us so much that the ones that Wind Up that wrote the checks and that didn't believe in us had no leg to stand on. She was like, "Oh no, you're confusing what I'm saying. We are signing 12 Stones. This is happening, whether you want it to or not." So she really propelled us into that at a young age.
Yeah, and again, for people that all over the US here, and some UK people watch it, I'm sure, is like, go look at what Wind Up Records, what the bands that they had, and the albums that they put out in the time frame that Paul's talking about. It was a shit ton of talent that came out of that label.
Here, let me help you out.
The first band they ever signed was Creed.
There was Creed.
Yeah.
There was 12 Stones. There was Atom Ship. There was Seether. There was Evanescence. There was Breaking Point. There was
Finger 11.
Finger
Yes,
11.
Finger 11.
I mean, and
That was
that
one of my
was
favorite bands. So when I realized they were on Wind Up, I'm like, we're gonna be on the same label as
the-
Finger 11. Oh yeah.
so in that time frame of music, Wind Up was it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, you had the Warner Brothers and stuff like that that had the Linkin Parks and things like that. But as far as entire label producing and putting out hits, Wind Up was it. So
I agree with
mean,
that. We were
Yeah,
very
and Paul,
fortunate.
I've heard other people describe. Is it Diana? You said the same way that you did. That she was kind of like a mother figure. It was kind of a more of a family kind of deal than it was a big Warner Brothers style label situation to work for them or be a part of their roster. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever we traveled to New York to do meetings, we stayed with her. She would put us up at her place and take us out to dinners. And it wasn't the fake like we'll wine and dine you for a couple weeks, honeymoon period, make you think we're something. Like she didn't care about any of that at all. She just wanted to know about us as people. She wanted to know what we liked, what we didn't like. And to this day, I could post something on Facebook and I guarantee you she's going to leave a comment. And it's always like, don't forget the one who signed you. And it's like, I could never forget. You're like the best thing that ever happened to us as a band. And I fully believe that without her support, especially in those early years, we would not be sitting here having this conversation right now. That's for sure.
so as you're growing and when you made that deal with Wind Up and you get in, so one of my friends at the radio station at the time was Aaron Gaynor, and then all of a sudden I got told by Kenny, "Hey, Aaron's leaving. He's
Sorry
going
about
to be
that.
playing drums for 12 Stones." I'm like, "What?"
Yes,
So how did
indeed.
that come? How did that one come about?
Well, the unfortunate part of this business is that it's just business a lot of times. And our very first drummer, Pat Quave, great guy. He's one of the founding guys. He was the one that worked at the store, that got the store owner, the music store owner, to allow us to practice there after hours. Like he did so much for us. And he was a few years older than us, so he got us into it. Well, one of the stipulations from some of the record offers was we had to get a new drummer. And it wasn't personal. It wasn't a choice. It was like, hey, we like what we're hearing, but we gotta move in a different direction in some facilities, right? So we had to think about it. We talked to him about it. We just said, like, what do we do here? You know what I mean? We got a signing bonus, each of us did, and we made sure Pat got, what he was due for putting in all the work and stuff like that. Still a great dude to this day, love him to death. But he kind of took the bullet. He kind of jumped on the grenade for us on that one. And so then it was, hey, you guys need a new drummer. You need something. So we started auditioning everybody from Los Angeles to New York. A lot of talented people, a lot of not so talented people. And we were kind of running into a brick wall, so to speak, when it came to the, you might have somebody that's super talented, but the personalities didn't mesh. Or you might have somebody that's not as talented, but they were just a great person. So it's kind of like, how do you choose?
Right.
And then Kenny mentioned, he's like, well, I got this guy, and people say he's pretty good. I got this guy named AJ at the station. I'm like, we're trying out everybody. Bring him in. And from the first time I saw him hit a drum, I was like, game over. That's it. To this day, and I say this a little bit biased, but I firmly stand by this statement, and I'll die on this hill. Aaron Gaynor is one of the most mechanical, robotic human beings I've ever met in my life. He hits everything consistent. His meter is untouchable. His creativity is just like, it's amazing to me to watch him play. And like, we've had a lot of great drummers. Our current drummer, Sean, he's a monster. He reminds me of like Animal. He's just, everything's heavy and hard. There was just something about Aaron, especially as a writer, when we would go into the room and I would say, here's this piece. And he'd be like, oh, what if we did this? And I'm like, well, now it's a whole new thing. All right, cool. Awesome. And so I love Aaron to death. And we were very fortunate that we stole him away from his days in the radio. But yeah, man, that's kind of the cool thing too, is with guys like Aaron. He came from like a poly rock math background. He's like Dream Theaters and Tool and all these guys that, like, I can't fathom how they make more than one appendage do any of that, and he did it with ease. And then Eric came from like a blues background, and I came from country melodies from growing up in near Jackson, Mississippi. And then I immediately fell in love with 90s grunge and the Seattle and all that. So I kind of meshed those two worlds. Kevin was Primus and every other thing. So everyone kind of brought a different background, and it turned into what 12 Stones ended up being, because I would bring my simple 3 chords, and then those guys would all just run with it, and it would just become something unbelievable.
Well, I've got, I do have a video to play. We did go back to 2007 in the video. One of my favorites that 12 Stones ever put out was "Lie to Me."
Okay, right on.
So we're gonna play "Lie to Me," and then we'll come back and we'll go into what's coming up for 12 Stones.
Perfect.
So here you go, guys. There's 12 Stones. "Lie to Me." You're watching this.
A candle burns away, the ashes full of lies. I gave my soul to you, you cut me from behind. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You're scared of the truth, I'm tired of the lies. 'Cause who I am is where you wanna be. Don't act like an angel, you're falling again. You're no superhero, I found in the end. So lie to me once again and tell me everything will be alright. Lie to me once again and ask yourself before we say goodbye. Well, goodbye. Was it worth it in the end? You said you were there for me, you wouldn't let me fall. All the times I shared with you, were you even there at all? Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You're scared of the truth, I'm tired of the lies. 'Cause who I am is where you wanna be. Don't act like an angel, you're falling again. You're no superhero, I found in the end. So lie to me once again and tell me everything will be alright. Lie to me once again and ask yourself before we say goodbye. Well, goodbye. Was it worth it in the end? Why'd you have to up and run away? A million miles away. I wanna close my eyes and make believe that I never found you. Just when I put my guard away, it's the same old story. You left me broken and betrayed. It's the same old story. Don't act like an angel, you're falling again. You're no superhero, I found in the end. So lie to me once again and tell me everything will be alright. Lie to me once again and ask yourself before we say goodbye. Well, goodbye. Was it worth it in the end? Lie to me once again. It's the same old story. Lie to me once again. It's the same old story. Was it worth it in the end?
It's been a long 5 years since they've taken the stage, 13 years since they played the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and it's time for the return of the Gulf Coast very own 12 Stones.
I'm broken, no, I need you now.
The Sound 228 and Budweiser present 12 Stones live at the D'Iberville Community Center Saturday, July 19th. This is an all-ages show, the return of 12 Stones. 12 Stones with special guest Counterfeit, the tribute to Limp Bizkit, Envision, Them Guys, and Transient. 12 Stones is back. 12 Stones, Counterfeit, Envision, Them Guys, and Transient. Saturday, July 19th at the D'Iberville Community Center. This is an all-ages event. Show tickets are just $25 in advance.
All right. So I had to plug ours. So
Yeah.
we're getting ready to talk about a whole bunch that you're doing, but I need to make sure that we plugged ours
For sure.
there. And I will say this: I think every time that I have run into Paul before they made their announcements and everything, I've always said, dude, if you ever get the band back together, let me know so we could do something. Every single time, and finally it happened, and we were able to make something happen. So
That's true, man. Hey, I want to reference something. When you showed those old clips, I like reliving all my hair days, man.
Oh.
Like every video clip, I got a different thing going on up top, man. And I haven't really changed much in that regard, but man, I was looking at all those clips like, what was I doing with that?
I wasn't sure if we were going to segue into these at all, but I showed Jared one earlier. I got two pictures that will remind both of us that we're happy where we're at these days.
Right.
There's one.
Yo. Yo.
And then there's the other.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So as a matter of
Man.
fact, that was CPR Fest 8. So that was, you guys played inside with Breaking Benjamin and Godsmack on that
Yeah, I
show.
was about to say Godsmack, I think, was on that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
that's wild. Good times, man.
We
Yeah,
are
those-
now in
those were the good old
2025.
days.
And 12 Stones is back. So you first announced Louder Than Life. I think that was the first one you guys announced.
Yes.
And I just want to show, and then I got a couple of the show flyers up against each other. And we talked about my playlist earlier, but you guys are also playing Aftershock in October.
Yeah, we just announced that today.
But I'm looking at the days that you guys are playing and the stage you guys are on and who you're playing with. And if you look at Louder Than Life, it's 12 Stones, Rev Theory, 10 Years, Crossfade, Hinder, and Flyleaf, all on the same stage. Literally, I probably have one of every one of those songs on my playlist.
Right.
That's like, as soon as I saw that particular thing, I was like, God, I want to go now.
Yeah,
So-
come on. Load up in the van, man.
I hear you. But I do have to ask, and I'll ask the question that is there, because I did notice that in Louder Than Life that you guys in Evanescence are on the same day.
Oh man, you noticed that? That's wild. That's crazy. Oh yeah, don't forget we got Northwoods Rock Rally coming up too.
I'm not
good.
done. Hold on.
Look
There we
at
go.
that. Look at that.
Northwoods Rock
I see
Rally.
the comments. There he goes.
So Northwoods
I see
Rock
you,
Rally,
John.
that's happening in August, and another sick lineup, including another favorite of mine, Devour the Day, on that one as well. But yeah, you guys, bands that we're very familiar with the Almas and Closure are also on there as well. So congratulations to that. But yeah, you got quite a bit going up, and then you saw on the 21st of this month, the full band is going to be at Southport Hall.
First show with the new lineup. First show in what feels like 20 years to me, but first show back at it, cranked to 11. I've been in the gym 6 days a week, so I don't throw my back out, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
So my question is why now? What all of a sudden? I know the spark's been there, but what
Yeah.
happened all of a sudden that here we go?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not getting any younger. I had last year, I had a growth in the back of my neck that ended up being what's called a lipoma. It's like a benign tumor, basically, but it was just getting like the size of a baseball. Then not long after that, I found out I had melanoma, so I had a skin cancer diagnosis, and I was working in a restaurant as a kitchen manager, 60 hours a week, just working to live and not the other way around. And it was getting to be like, why am I giving all of my energy that I have left to someone else? I just feel like it was a good time. There was a big resurgence in a lot of the bands from our era, the early 2000s, a lot of bands doing some reunions and some things like that. And I figured with the health scares and everything that was going on, it was just time to think of myself and what I truly feel like was my calling, in life. I take the music seriously. It has something worth saying, in my opinion. Try to write positive lyrics. I try to write personal stories that are about overcoming adversity. And what a bigger way to do that than to try to overcome some adversity myself and get out of my own way. So I had the procedures. I had both omas removed, and I just decided, man, it's time. I'm not going to get any younger. And if there's still some people out there that want to see us live, let's get them going. So,
Well, go ahead, Jerry.
I was gonna say that's killer. That like you said, the spark never left, and y'all are getting back out there, because I know there's people that still want to hear the music for sure. Myself being one of them. I was gonna ask. We could have spent another 2 hours talking about all the, the records that you guys put out, and I hope people, if they're somehow hearing about y'all for the first time, go look them up on Spotify and go deep into the catalog, because it's some really killer music. But what I wanted to know, from your perspective, is like going from the early 2000s with you probably call that the tail end of the record deal, right? Like of bands still getting signed to that, 90s, 80s style of record deal. Y'all rode that and took it far for a few albums, but took a break, like you mentioned, and then now coming back. Like, what is it like for you, 2025, to be what you said at the beginning, right? When you jumped on here, like an independent artist, right? What's the contrast there from having the label and having that family? Because I think you were lucky with all of y'all there at Wind Up to have that. I don't think even some massive bands probably had what y'all had as far as a connection there. But now doing it independently, what's it like?
it's hard. Like there's a lot of stuff that has to be done behind the scenes that I don't necessarily get paid for, or don't get any attention that it's being done. John and I are doing an acoustic tour right now. I book it all. I do all that. My fiance comes out and does merch for me. Same with the full band stuff. We just recently hired a booking agent, but prior to that, I was booking all the shows, doing the day to day. I have to make time to do interviews and such. I started painting, so I sell paintings, I sell merch, I sell handwritten lyrics, I sell everything that's not nailed down. And on top of all that, I have to take some time for myself to work on myself mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things on a daily basis. So most of my day is fueled by caffeine and people telling me I can't do something, So instead of worrying about somebody else making the decision on my behalf or speaking on my behalf, you just come to me. I'll tell you straight what I think. I don't have a problem speaking my mind. I try to be respectful but also direct. So it takes a lot of work. It's not easy, but I couldn't be happier. I quit my job last April, so I'm pushing a year just fully relying on music and art again. And like I said, you can see some of them behind me, but I got some paintings back here that I do. I've been doing some live streams. Like I said, John and I are doing an acoustic tour on top of the full band tour. 2 totally different set lists. We have a couple songs that are in both, but for the most part, the acoustic show is 90 minutes of some deep cuts and some cool stuff, and then the other set's 90 minutes of just me trying not to die in front of people. So it's a nice dichotomy there.
And I do try to come fully prepared. So if you'd like to see the acoustic set, you can see it coming up this Friday night. That's up in Jackson, I believe, right?
Yep, up in Jackson.
So
where I'm originally kind of from. So I better see
Burnham
some
Road
friends
and
and family
Storage.
out there.
There you go. Storage 24 in Burnham Road, joining you there. And then the night before Dirty 30 Fest, you can head on over to the Sanctuary and catch the acoustic show with Waking Mars and Candy Bone. So you can have
Yes,
a cool little
indeed.
weekend of rock music. So
Yeah, and like I said, I appreciate you plugging those. You know, it's always up in the air for me, like what we can and can't talk about. I don't want to step on toes or any of that, but I do appreciate the plug. I know the Sanctuary is a relatively new venue out there in Biloxi. Um, we're working with them to bring the show there, and then a few months later, before we come in there and try to destroy the D'Iberville Community Center.
and I will tell you this, people, everybody's all like community center. When you see what we're going to do with this thing, we're bringing in a lighting company from Louisiana that is going to turn this into, they do the lighting for like the Le Berge Casino and things like that in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge area and all of that. They're coming in and turning this into a rock venue. It's
Oh, that's gonna be
going to
awesome.
be a rock show.
Well, you
So
got all the bands on the bill,
Yeah.
super talented, stoked to share the stage with all of them. And I'm one of those people, like, I don't care where we play in the lineup. Like, for these two big festivals that we're on, I see the lineup and I'm like, man, we're playing first on the last day. It's gonna be a bunch of hungover people. It's gonna be, the sun's gonna be out. It's gonna be hot. But I'll tell you what, it's a full send. You might give me 25, 30 minutes, and I promise you, I'm cramming that 35 minutes with as many screams and jumps and energy as I can pack into it. And then in hopes that maybe one of these other years, another festival comes along, we might get to go at like 1 p.m. or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't care where we play. I'm just happy to share the stage with like-minded individuals and musicians that believe in themselves and their craft. And I believe you guys have set up a hell of a lineup for us at that show. So, you know, props to all the bands out there doing it. And it takes a lot. Most people don't realize this. Like, it takes a lot to get up there and bury yourself like that, you know, to put your passion into a physical and a viewable form, and kind of become very exposed in ways that's like, you know, if people don't like it, you can't leave, you know, it's like, you're just in it now, you know. So any band that's out there, whether they're just starting out or they've been around a million years, just believe in your craft and put everything you got into those shows, because no matter who sees you, you might have the best show of your life, but tomorrow you got to do it all again. And the people tomorrow don't know how good you did tonight. They don't care. You better
Yep.
do that good every night. So I feel like as long as you're putting your energy into it and you're really trying to make each show its own special moment, you can't go wrong.
well, I can tell you,
Well
and
said,
I will
bro.
say this: you were on this show early on when we first started,
Mhm.
and I want to tell you thank you, because you have supported us since we started. And you showed up. You were at Rockin' the Sound. You came out to our winter storm in November. So I want to thank you for the support that you've shown us as well. So
Well, man, y'all are awesome, and y'all are doing so much for the scene, and it shows through all. It's easy to tell who's working and helping the bands out when the bands are involved. You know, like, I talk to people all the time that are like, oh, all these bigger bands, you know, they have their agents and their, you know, their teams of people to go and do all this stuff. No, man, like, us real grinders, we are the ones. Like, I'm trolling Louder Than Life's page every day. People are
right,
like, who should I see? If they don't say 12 Stones, I'm like, you forgot somebody. You know, like, I like to go and mess with people. I'm not sending a marketing department. If you send a message to 12 Stones, you're getting me. And it's like, I try to be as available as humanly possible, and you guys make that easy. It's good to see when the other bands in the area are diving in and communicating and jumping in your lives and showing up. I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people don't that take for granted, you know, is like showing up for the other artists. You know what I mean? One of the things, we got signed when I was so young. Before even being a singer of 12 Stones, I was a fan of music. So for me, being on tour with bands that I just loved, that was the everything. If I got to go play a show, all right, yeah, we'll go do that. But I get to watch Seven Dust play every night. Are you kidding me? And I can
right.
stand over here on the side of the stage and shake their hands afterwards. And I'm like, I get to watch Creed in their prime just destroy arenas every single night. Guys and Papa Roach and these bands are just like, I was like, what is happening? And they're like coming up and talking to me, and I'm like, what? You know, why are you talking to me? You know, so it's being a fan first is something I've always taken a lot of pride in. And when we go to these festivals, I plan on being in the crowd. You know, I might be a little outdated for the pit. I might be on the edge a little bit. But man, I want to be where everybody's at. I know I'm a fan too. And
well,
Yeah,
I'll tell you this: if you happen to be in town the next day after your show at the Sanctuary, come on over to the Juke Joint and join us for
Yeah.
Dirty 30 Fest.
right on,
It'll
right
be
on.
fun. So if everybody's looking, I know you said you answer it, but if anybody's looking to find 12 Stones, where's the best place to look for all the info?
Man, I do a lot on Facebook, so just 12 Stones. Instagram is 12 Stones. TikTok is at 12 Stones Band. Our YouTube right now is hung up, so I have a secondary page. It's official Paul McCoy. All of our lives go to all of those, and you can get all your info in those places. So, 12stones.com is our website. That's where you can go to buy the latest merch and handwritten lyrics that I've been doing, stuff like that. So I try to be as out there as possible.
Any new music possibly on the horizon? Can we
Yeah,
talk?
I'm always writing, man. You know, that's the artist in me. Like life motivates me. Life, makes me think. I think a lot. So when I think, I try to write it all down as much as possible. And with the current lineup that we have right now, we are writing. It is going to be heavy, and hopefully get something out this year with all these shows we got coming up. We'll have some time to put it together, but I'm not going to be one to rush it just for the sake of getting something out. I don't believe. I want to make sure whatever we put out is something we all firmly believe in. So, yes, we are writing. Yes, there will be new something. I set myself up for either failure or success because the last thing we put out was called Smoke and Mirrors Volume 1. So it's got to be a Volume 2 or I
There
just
you
look
go.
like an idiot. You know what I mean? So
Somebody put in the comments, anyone else feeling a 12 Stones Taproot Rev Theory tour needs to happen?
hey man, a shout
Well,
out to both of those bands. I
Yeah.
got nothing but love. I know Steven's dealing with some medical stuff in Taproot right now. But Taylor, another Gulf Coast homie, is
Yep.
playing guitar with Taproot right now. And we did a bunch of shows with Rev Theory back in the day and about to do these 2 festivals right before them both days too. So you never know, man. Handshakes and conversations go a long way these days.
That's it.
That's
Well,
right.
Paul, thank you for hanging out with us. I'm looking forward to seeing you sometime soon. I'm sure I'll see you before July 19th, but
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it happen, Captain. Sorry I didn't swing in on y'all for the parade. We went.
oh no, it's all good. All good.
We-
It was
And I didn't answer your question earlier about the Evanescence thing. I didn't want to sidetrack you from that, but I will say that I reached out to Amy and spoke with her, and I said, "Hey, by the way, I'm not sure if you caught it, but we're playing the same day. Wink, wink. And man, if you're louder than life, you're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a good time. So
there you go.
I get to jump up and do a little something.
There you go. Read between the lines, people.
Thank you very much, Paul, and we will chat with you later.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. Cheers,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Yes.
Good talking
Well,
to you, man.
you
Have
as
a good
well.
night.
All right, so we've got two more things to go. We've got a premiere weekend
All right.
picnics new video, and then we also have Raven's Banquet that's going to be jumping on. I have been warned not to let him in, but I think I'm going to avoid the warning. So, oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Somebody has
What are you
party
doing?
tonight.
Dude, we have had such a party tonight. We have saw Blacktop Mojo on their first UK show.
How did it go, man?
Dude,
That's-
that's how you open a UK show.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
It
So this was their first show on the tour.
first ever show over the pond, and holy fuck.
Told you.
Like, if you have not checked out Blacktop Mojo yet, go and fucking do it right now.
Matt, what were the faces like, and what was like the was there anybody in that show that you knew from the like when we go to shows around here, there's people in the scene, you just know them, right? They're always at the same shows you're at. Did you, what's the feedback?
Me and Lisa were shocked to the queue that was to the show, and everyone we spoke to that like tonight in the show were there for Blacktop fucking Mojo.
So they knew. So some people knew ahead of time of like they went there for them.
I was shocked to fuck with the amount of people that were there for Blacktop.
Well, the first time we ever came across him, right, Kevin? Help me jog my memory. I think it was
we had him at the cannery, and a ton of people
were coming.
They were like, we saw it on YouTube or whatever. They didn't come because the sound asked them to come. They came because Blacktop Mojo was playing.
They fucking slayed that venue, bro.
No, they're
absolutely fucking slayed it.
How was hanging out with them too? That's as much fun as seeing them.
There's a reason Lisa said that to not let me in this fucking live, because I've had a few too many, right?
We couldn't tell.
But fuck, dude, like, check out Blacktop Mojo right now.
Yeah.
If
after the show, check out Blacktop Mojo. We got a few things to do before
they are touring the UK and Ireland right now. We hung out. Matt held off from hanging out because that he was looking after his voice, but we hung out with Kat. I was at a bar and we were hanging out with Shaman's Harvest, Blacktop Mojo, and Raptors.
Oh damn, you were in heaven tonight.
And oh dude, it was a fucking night and a half.
All right.
There you go. Well, you deserved it, homie. You deserved it.
There's your concert review for the night. Matt, go to bed.
Yeah. Go get some sleep, dude.
We'll talk to you later. All right.
Lisa, look at her comment.
Good time.
Dude, I'm glad they had such a good time. That's awesome.
The best part about it. But anyways, we have a premiere. There's a new single coming out for Weekend Picnic. You'll be playing it. We'll be playing it all day tomorrow on the sound. But we have the video right now. So we're going to play it. The song is called Echo Chamber. Here it is. It is the world premiere of Weekend Picnic's new single, and you're watching the sound.
Dollar bills when you turn into enemies. Headlines plugging into the feed. Bow down to the new machine. You get high on the feeling, but you're not free. In the cage of what they make you believe. Tune in to your favorite shows in the scene. Not a good person, you just play one on TV. When all the chambers break into an echo, and all your heroes from you, jump in.
Legit.
That'll fucking get your attention.
There you go.
Wow.
That's a premiere.
So I will literally say I loaded that video in, and I only watched like the first 5 seconds because I wanted to see the whole video at the same time with everybody else. And that is probably the song itself is probably one of the cleanest sounding rock songs that I've heard in a long time. It was fucking really good.
Mhm.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, I dig it.
All right. So there's some a band that you will see here on the Gulf Coast here coming up in the next few months. And it's a newer band to us. It's a band called Raven's Banquet, which when I talked to Leon from Midnight Fracture and told him about Raven's Banquet, he absolutely loved the name of the band. So Chase is with us from Raven's Banquet. So we're going to chat with Chase for a minute. Chase, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? We're doing pretty good.
Doing well. And so first off, I'm gonna introduce how we met you, or
Okay.
how we became knowing of you. You are being managed by Aaron,
Yeah.
from Kingdom Collapse.
Yes.
And he sent us the stuff, and he's been working with you guys. And so tell us about Raven's Banquet.
So, well, real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to Aaron for getting this all put together so that I get to talk to you guys. And yeah, the band got started about 2.5, 3 years ago. Me, myself, Brandon, our drummer, who's my brother, Jonathan Bridges, and then Kaiser Stavanaugh. We all kind of got together and decided that we wanted to be playing a little bit more heavy because we had all been playing we'd all been playing different kinds of music. So we decided, you know what, let's come in, let's try and do something together. And we just got together, I think in about October, and like I said, a few years ago, and it was like a starship from there, man. We've had an amazing time, great shows, great opportunities. It has been a fantastic start, for 3 years in. It's been an amazing start.
Very cool. Are you on the road right now?
Yeah, we're actually in the motorhome right now, so we're headed down to Daytona Beach because we're playing Friday and Saturday over at the
Bike
Boot Hill
Week.
Saloon. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I do have a video, and we'll dig into a little bit after it. And I'm trying to Waitlist I think is the one that I picked. So tell us a little bit about because I think I saw, how many videos do you have? I saw 2 for sure, and I picked.
We have like 3 or 4.
Because
3 or 4 videos.
Waitlist is your most recent one, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the song Waitlist before we watch the video, and then we're going to come back and dig in a little more.
Yeah. So Waitlist was a song that I had a little bit of help with some friends of ours from West Creek. And they were helping me when I was first kind of trying to write out songs and get some good stuff going for the band. And we worked on that song together and ended up getting it, a bass line layout of it down, brought it to the band. And then everybody kind of took it with their own parts, changed up bits and pieces. But the song is really about pushing through after like a major loss. You know what I mean? The chorus lyrics are hard times bear hard lives, so be brave, ripped from the momentary warmth of your embrace. On the other side, we'll see you again. The whole song is about just, we will see each other again in the next life. And no matter what there will always be that connection.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, here it is. So if everybody watching, if you are new to Raven's Banquet, check the song out. Let us know what you think in the comments. That's what this show is all about. So here it is. It's Raven's Banquet.
Second feels like a lifetime. Step into
All right, there you have it. That's Raven's Banquet. It's weightless, and
I love every time that song comes on. It's so good. I love the guitar part that we put in at the during those bridge sections. Just the ambiance of it all. It's just every time.
Mm-hmm. Vocals were killer. Very, very
I
good.
appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. So, and
Yeah, I dug
yeah,
it.
so we actually have another song coming out, which would be tomorrow, but technically in just a few hours. We have a new song called Biter, which is going to be showing up on all streaming platforms here in just a couple of hours when it hits midnight. So that one's a bit of a more upbeat, fast song, and very honestly, it fits in really well with like Bike Creek. Just really like,
well,
go get her.
You have my email. Send it to me.
I will do.
So
Yeah.
we can get it on the station and get it going for you guys on whatever we can do to help. So what's you got Bike Week, and then what's going forward from there?
So we got Bike Week right now. We're going to be doing these two shows here, Friday and Saturday. After that, I believe we are going to be playing at Austin at Come and Take It Live. We're going to be doing a show with Mini Kiss, which
Nice.
is fun for us because I mean we're all like 6 foot, so it's like we're like the 6 foot band's going to open up for Mini Kiss. It's gonna be like a weird transition into that. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But
That's
so we got a show
Yeah,
with them on the 21st over at Come and Take It Live. We have a show with them on the 29th over at the Amp Room in San Antonio. And we've got some upcoming shows as well that haven't fully been announced yet. But I will say that we are going to be back up in Oklahoma later this year. And I think I'll just leave it right there.
Where do you guys call home? The band. What is y'all's hometown?
Hometown of San Antonio. So
Okay.
yeah, so we
Man, a lot of cool shit coming out of San Antonio.
yeah, there's a lot of good bands that have been coming out of San Antonio recently.
Oh no, there ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt. There's
Yeah.
a lot coming out of There's a lot coming out of Texas. Period.
Yeah, there has
Yeah.
been really, man.
But
There really has been.
That triangle area that I like, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, that area is just been really producing some really, really, really good stuff lately. So
Yeah. So we
So I
we
put-
just played at Houston about a week ago. We just did a Houston show, and that was a really good show, man. Just we played over at the Scout Bar, and we had some awesome bands on that bill. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? I'm glad we put on a show.
there you go. Well, it's like what Paul was saying. You got to put on a show every single night.
Oh
So
yeah, every night.
That's
every
right.
night.
For live musicians, there it is truly what have you done for me today?
Yeah, no. So like some
Yeah.
of the best advice
Yeah.
I've been given about just playing shows in general is the audience can always go and stream your music. They're not there to listen to your music. They're there to see you.
Correct.
So every
Yep.
time I go out on stage, I'm trying to engage with the audience, let them know I see them. I want them to be a part of this, and I thank them for it.
So everybody
Yeah.
that's watching, I did put the Facebook page in the comments. Make sure you go, and if you aren't following the band yet, go follow the band. Find them on YouTube. Find them on all the other socials. Where's the easiest place if somebody was wanting to reach out to you about anything? Where would the easiest place to be?
If they're wanting to reach out about any kind of show ideas, it would be ravensbooking@gmail.com. That's what we use for our booking stuff. People send us emails for shows and stuff.
Where's-
But if they
where-
want,
Socially, where are you most active at?
socially, we're more active on Instagram. We've also got Facebook, TikTok as well. But if you want to keep up with the band very much, go use Instagram. And if you have bands in town, go follow the band on Bands in Town. We're always updating exactly what when we have shows coming up.
Very cool. Very cool.
Sweet.
Well, send us the new single. We'll get it on the station for you.
I will do, man.
I noticed Matt's back in the backstage area again. He can, he's waving, so he can just nod his head. Yeah, we'll add the new single at some point here soon. So
Yeah.
send it over to me, and we'll get that taken care of for you. But thank you, man. Our job is to introduce people to new bands, and that's what we're doing here. And we appreciate you hopping on with us. We appreciate Aaron sending us the info, and we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you guys for having us on. Thank you for Aaron for getting us connected. Thank you to everybody that's listening right now. Much appreciation. these, podcasts and stuff like this are what help get us bands who are not necessarily super small, but haven't hit big leagues yet. You guys definitely help us get our name out there. So we very, very, very much appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure, man. Good luck at the shows coming up this
Thank
weekend.
you. So
Have a good one.
long drive. We still got about 6 hours left. So we're
Yeah,
gonna hit
but
the road here in a
it
minute.
looks like you might be sitting on a couch. Just kick back and throw your legs up and go to sleep.
Yeah,
Be
that
there
might be what I
be-
do.
Be
That
there
might be what
before
I
you
do.
know it. You have
So.
6 hours away from Daytona. You probably just passed by us.
Yeah,
on
maybe.
I-10. Where are you on I-10 right now?
We're at, where's it again?
We're I don't know. Slidell.
Slidell.
So
Yeah. So,
you're about to pass him, and then 45 minutes later you'll pass me.
yeah. So we're hoping to get to what was that? Crestview. Yeah. Sorry. Just trying to remember all the names. That's the funniest thing about being a singer is I can remember all lyrics. You give me names, like I'll just completely forget them. Where are you playing next? Oh, we're playing Austin. No, you're playing in Houston.
Yep. That's why you have the notes right by your feet.
Yeah, no, just like a little
you are in Houston tonight.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one and be safe.
All right, you too, guys.
Take it easy.
Peace out.
All right. We're done except for the
You got to make the announcement.
But hi again. Now we can't hear you. No.
There we go.
Okay.
There it
Jed,
is.
did you have parting words? Because we're getting ready to announce the winner of the grudge match.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the winner of the grudge match, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't even have to count the votes. I mean, I can if you really want to know the numbers, but I don't have to count the votes. Etched in Embers is your champion tonight. So next week we have our Dirty 30 Fest show with Shallow Side going to be on, and then I'm going to be not like you, but I will be at Hinder and Saliva that night. So I will be checking in with my phone while we're there.
I don't think anyone will be like me tonight.
Etched in Embers will be going for the Hall of Fame against Kingdom Collapse and their latest Elevate.
Are you fucking joking me? Are you no, Kevin, please. Kevin, please.
Don't act surprised. Don't act surprised.
You knew it was coming.
Please.
At some point you knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming, but oh man, what am I gonna do?
You don't have to vote. That's the cool
you don't get to vote anyway.
I don't have to vote, but that's two Rift Media Group artists against each other.
No, it just means you got good artists that they're in the grudge match.
Russ can get into this, but I believe this will be like the third time Etched in Embers has gone up against Kingdom Collapse.
Yeah,
it is.
Probably.
And seriously, y'all work together and work on your releases to not be so close together.
I'm gonna say it on live right now. Kevin, you're a prick.
He knew. He already knows.
He knows it. He knows it.
I literally, I wrote it. I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, shit. Watch this.
Yeah.
He embraces it.
So,
I enjoy it. Like we say
that's
on these grudge matches, we play them because we love them.
That's right. That's right.
But don't forget, the new magazine is out this Friday with 12 Stones on the cover. So, and Anne Maria has done a hell of a job putting the article together for the 12 Stones in that. You also have an article from Lisa in there. You'll have an article from myself and Pepper as well. And then don't forget, coming up on the 5th, what date is it? The 15th, March 15th,
March 15th.
a week from Saturday. Shallow Side, Outlier, Enemy, the Almas, Storage 24, Crashing Wayward. It is going to be at the Juke Joint. Tickets available now at thesound228.com. And of course, being brought to you by all our friends on the bottom there. So make sure you show some love to all of them as well. And we appreciate all of them for hopping on. And they'll be there with some booths, and some will actually be interviewing some bands and stuff like that. So it'll be a fun time. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And thanks everybody for watching, especially those who commented and shared. Man, that means the world to us. I hope you got experience to some new music, maybe some new bands tonight, or just got to chat with like-minded individuals. So we really do appreciate it. Matt, thanks for jumping on. We want a full sober rundown of the show at some point, maybe next week during the next live stream. So
Oh boy, he stood up.
y'all be good.
Of course.
All right. Talk to you
All right.
later. See
Night,
y'all
everybody.
next week.